Well, okay, everybody, it's me, Jermaine, with The Simple Truth. This is part 2 of the story that I've been sharing with you about young, deceased now, murdered Trayvon Martin. And Trayvon was murdered by an overzealous, self-appointed neighborhood watch security person in a gated community in Orlando, Florida, by the name of George Zimmerman. To this point, of this taping of this video, there has not yet been any indictment, any arrest, or anything when it comes to Mr. George Zimmerman. I want to read you the latest article from blackamericaweb.com that points out in detail the update of what's going on with this story. Audio of Martin killings 911 calls released. Now, this comes from blackamericaweb.com. I will leave a link where you can read this article yourself, but here is what the article had to say. It says, in the days and hours leading up to witnesses fingering him as the overzealous trigger man in the shooting death of unarmed high school teen Trayvon Martin, self-appointed crime watch captain George Zimmerman went door to door in his gated Sanford community, imploring residents to be on the lookout for young black males he demonstratively denounced as outsiders and a-holes who always get away. Audio tapes released this weekend from at least 8 related 911 calls made on the damp, dark evening of February 26, when Martin died of a gunshot blast to the chest, further call Zimmerman's judgment and motivation into question, including a testy exchange he engaged in with a non-emergency police dispatcher who unequivocally instructed him to cease with tailing the 17-year-old victim throughout the neighborhood, an order he blatantly chose to ignore. Sorry about that. My son was crying for help, and he still shot him, said Tracy Martin, Trayvon's father, upon listening to the tapes and hearing a voice believed to be his son terrifyingly muttering, "No, no," as a gun-toting Zimmerman apparently approached. In still another call, Zimmerman, 28, describes the baby-faced Martin as looking as if he's on drugs or something and up to no good. When police arrived, they found the lifeless Martin lying face down, carrying only a bag of Skittles and a can of iced tea. How is it that this man is free to roam the neighborhood armed and loaded? Added the elder Martin. How can you claim self-defense when you are the aggressor? Trayvon Martin was shot to death as he returned home that night after walking to a nearby convenience store to purchase candy for his brother, his younger brother, that is. As he made his way to within steps of his father's home, a trailing Zimmerman jumped from his vehicle to confront the unsuspecting teen face to face. Now, I want to make a point here. Would this teen have been confronted in this manner if he was a white teenager? The question is very poignant here. Let me continue. It says, still police have yet to arrest or even charge Zimmerman in the shooting, and now Martin's family is calling for the FBI to take the lead in this investigation. Do you really think that the priorities of the FBI are going to be to this young deceased teenager? Question is one that many are thinking about right now. For some reason, he felt that Trayvon, the way that he was walking or appeared, seemed suspicious to him, said Sanford Police Chief Bill Lee. He called this in and was told a police officer was on the way to check things out. In the last year, Records show Zimmerman has made at least 46 such calls to police, leading family attorney Benjamin Crump to speculate that the volunteer watchman suffered from a twisted sense of entitlement that seemed to give him a false sense of authority when it came to policing the gated community neighborhood now heavily populated by blacks. The Sanford Police Department claims it's still investigating, said Crump, but I'm not sure what there is to investigate. What's suspicious about this kid? That's what the family is crying out, that our kid is like any other kid. The neighborhood watch was supposed to protect him, not kill him. He was a victim of racial profiling. I've already written a letter to the Attorney General, Eric Holder, requesting that he get involved. On the night in question, witnesses tell police a brief scuffle between the two quickly ensued after Zimmerman confronted the teen and, though he was outweighed by more than 100 pounds, at some point Martin easily began to get the better of his hot-headed tormentor. He was chasing and following him, and my son was afraid, said Sabrina Fulton, Trayvon's mother. He didn't know who this stranger was. He was yelling for help, and no one could help him. He saw his life being taken away from him. How can this be right? How can this be fair? Ladies and gentlemen, the simple truth here is that no matter what we want to believe, many will say, oh, we have a black president. What does that mean when it comes to altercations and interactions between those that still hold a mindset that one race is superior to another? That is the simple truth, that we are not as changed or have had the change that we think that is out there. I'd like to thank you for joining me for this episode of The Simple Truth. And as I always tell you, the simple things are oftentimes the most profound, but yet they are the most difficult to put into practice as well as do. I will continue on this road of this story and give another follow-up, and I look forward to talking to you again real soon.
Uh-oh, look at him looking.